Good afternoon. This is Michael Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. I'm going to do a quick video here about what we can expect over the next week or so. Today is a brutally cold day. We're having our coldest day since December 23rd of 2022, when we had a high of 1 below and a low of negative 11, and then a wind chill that dropped as low as negative 37. So we didn't get that cold today, but our daily high today was 12 degrees. That occurred just after midnight. Most of the county dropped anywhere between -3 and -6 this morning, with wind chills around -30. So it still was plenty cold. Our daytime temperatures have only been hovering around zero, thanks to the snow that's on the ground. We did pick up 1 to 2 inches across the county yesterday into last night. We do have some more snow chances possible this coming week before we take a warmer turn. So let's take a look at those things. We're going to start off with a regional view of the GFS. There's a decent snowstorm going off across the southern tier of states. It's kind of messed up that northern Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana are getting a winter storm when we can't seem to squeeze one out up here. But at any rate, we'll take a look here as we go over the next day or so. That what's left of that storm system down there moves on, and then you notice that there's this little wave that begins to develop late Monday night into early Tuesday, and the timing varies depending on the model. But the GFS kind of gets it through. It gets it through quickly in the morning hours of Tuesday. I do tend to think that that's going to linger a little bit more. I would take a look at the European model's take on that. Here's a look at the European, again with the snow going off to the south. Then we get late in the day, Monday into early Tuesday, and it's got some snow scooting off. It also kind of is getting it through here quickly, but I do think that snow is probably going to linger a little bit into the day Tuesday. So sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. So if we take a look at the GFS snowfall output, of course, we're going to be watching this wave that's up here. There's the winter storm cutting across the southern tier of states. When we look up across central Indiana, and the GFS has us picking up a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of snowfall. And I think that's a pretty fair assessment. The European, likewise, paints us a quick swath of snow across, putting down about a 1/2 inch of snow here in central Indiana. Again, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. I think we should expect a dusting to maybe 1 inch of snow Monday night into Tuesday. Sticking with the European model, as we get later into the week, this is Thursday afternoon, and then we get into as Thursday afternoon into Friday, we can see this wave of snow kind of cut an arc down across from, it's basically a type of clipper, but it's going to have access to cold air that's going to be sitting just to our north, and it's going to be plenty cold here as well. So the European is putting down about 4 inches of snow across our area, and for Thursday into Friday, it's a little bit slower than the GFS. Come back to the GFS and look at it's coming in earlier with the snow. It's coming in Thursday morning into Thursday night, or very early Friday. It's a touch farther south, but still puts down a good 3 to 4 inch snowfall across the area before it scoots off to our east Thursday into Friday. So should we take these numbers for gospel? Absolutely not. But there's a good signal. The system is there. It's a clipper. They're less prone to north-south deviation. And with cold air in place, it'll have a good tap. So you end up with high ratio snowfalls like what fell yesterday. We didn't get that much liquid with the snow yesterday, maybe 3 to 4 hundredths of an inch of liquid, but it translated to anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches of snow, because the cold air squeezes all that moisture out and you get the high ratio. And for my location, the ratio was 27 to 1 and typical is considered 10 to 1. So high ratio snowfall, very possible Thursday into Friday. The timing still needs to be worked out. Amounts can't be taken for gospel yet, but the system is there and we just need to fine tune it as it gets closer. So again, probably a dusting to an inch of snow on Tuesday, and then a better organized clipper system Thursday into Friday, with the timing still in question on that. So with those things in mind, then we'll take a look. This is the EPS, as a European ensemble mean. We're going to looking at the temperatures over the coming pattern. Of course, we've got this brutally cold air in place right now across the region. That's going to hang out. Even as we modify Thursday into Friday, we're still going to be in the 20s. On Thursday and Friday, and maybe even Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But the temperatures are not going to get super warm. We're not going to see temperatures above freezing again until probably next Monday. But and then we get this reinforcement behind the system on Thursday and Friday, where we get some more very cold air. But then we'll by the time we're getting into early next week, we begin to see that modify, and all of a sudden we're having highs in the mid to upper 30s next Monday, and then by next Tuesday, we're in the 40s, and I think we'll be in the 40s a good chunk of next week. But you notice the cold air just kind of hanging up here. We had the cold air out here to the west, and you'll see that it starts to rotate over, and that'll begin to set up the next reload for cold air into early February. So we will have this mild period to close out the month, probably the last 7 to 10 days, or 7 days of the month or so, and probably first couple of days into February. But then we'll begin to see reinforcement of cold air from the north, and we'll enter our next opportunity for a pattern that may be snowy. This year's reminded me a little bit of a couple of years ago where we had almost no snow going through late January, and then we got a full winter's worth of snow in 18 days in February. Not saying that's going to happen again, but it's a type of pattern that we're kind of in. So if winter is going to be saved, it didn't get saved by this week. And although we're not going to have the least snowy winter on record, but we're still sitting at one of the worst. The system at the end of the week might help a little bit, but early February is probably going to be the thing that if winter's going to get saved, that's where it's going to happen. So I just wanted to run you through what we had coming up for this week, and then a little bit of a look down the road, because again, we will modify next week, probably around the 23rd, 24th, about next Monday or so. We'll begin to turn the pattern around, and we'll have a run where we're in the 30s and 40s for about a week or so, and then we'll watch the next wintery run. So that's all I've got. This is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. And those of you who support the page financially, thank you so much. Thank you to our sponsors. And everybody have a great day, and keep yourselves safe and warm the next couple of days. Thank you.